Alright, boys. So I'm uploading the previous video that came out, and let's see if I can play the game while I'm uploading, tough stuff. Anyways, back into the action. For the two of you, just this once. Upon saying that, Mom handed us each 100 yen coins. That day was a cold winter day. At the Manton Aquarium souvenir area, the smell of construction lingered faintly in the air. There were manta and penguin stuffed animals, stationery with a logo on it, and various souvenirs. At the entrance to that souvenir stand, there were the gacha machines containing that keychain. I don't remember all the various types, but Star Sand was packed in the plastic drops, and the charms were all modeled after fish at the aquarium. It was fairly typical for a gacha, but at that time it seemed very enticing to me. It was the same for Mari, and we gazed into the gacha machine. Gacha! Mari was the only one who would usually beg our parents at this point, but neither of us had bought a souvenir, and both of us said we wanted the keychains. Since Mom couldn't be completely broken, she emphasized the one time only bit. Yay! Mari held out both hands with glee, while I probably just smiled. I remember that inside, I was just as happy. As to which of us went first, it was of course the more assertive Mari. She was always like this, a cheerful and inquisitive child. How cute, Mr. Star! Mari got a starfish charmed keychain. At this point, Mari still didn't know the difference between a starfish and a star. I was next to get one. It was a pink drop with a jellyfish charm. My loss of the day after. Oh. A jellyfish. That's the one I wanted most. Mari pointed the index finger of her tiny hand, exclaiming in a loud voice. Mari was just learning how to use first person when she mentioned herself. Instead of a normal I or me, she said it slowly. Hey, big sister, trade me. No way! I want this one! Oh, go! Naturally, as I had already fallen in love with that design, I obstinately turned her down. What a rude sister. Upon begging my mother for one more time, my mother, who had warned us earlier, held her purse strings tight, leaving Mari to sulk. Fine, stupid big sister. Without listening to my mother's admonishment, she ran off into the museum and never came back. Sulking after being called stupid, I naturally didn't chase her right away. My mother, being optimistic about the aquarium's small size, also waited a while to go looking for Mari. She never came back. She's dead. And now, all I'm left with are my regrets. If only I had given her the keychain. If only I'd gone after her sooner. If only I'd traded her keychains in the first place. Even so, the past is unchanging, and I am left with only my regrets to bear. So in case I could ever trade with Mari again, I'd stubbornly carried around that keychain, the one with the pink droplet shape and the jellyfish shade charm. It was like a treasure. I rummaged through my bag, seeking to feel the keychain in my hand. Oh yeah, I did make that trade. Oh, my memory. Why, at a time like this, had I forgotten to bring it? The keychain wasn't in the bag nor in my pockets. Huh? A sigh naturally slipped out of my body. After all, I've lost sight of Mari and strayed from Menno. Menno has the building map, so there's nothing I can do. At that moment, a pungent aroma floats by and caused me to speak in surprise. Food. Yum. Unable to bear the irritating stench, I pinched my nose. Oh, bad smell. Gross. Still, the stench seems to twist in my nose. It's made of the smell of sewage, sulfur, and the nauseating stink of vinegar. As soon as I try to get away from the smell, something soft creeps along the bottom of my foot. As I hesitantly look down, I realize the true identity of the putrid odor. It's a green slime. It's a corpse. I'm not sure what type, but it's as big as my arm span. The body is slowly decaying and hasn't retained its original form yet. By its bulging round eyes and slight extended tail fin, I can just barely tell it was a fish. Oh. I couldn't tell right away, but it has a silhouette similar to a piraruku. I feel like I've seen those eerie, glaring eyes, characteristic of a freshwater fish. I feel sick. I move my foot slowly, and a small fragment of the course sticks to the bottom of my shoe. On the underside of which I notice something wiggling desperately. The slight sound of flapping wings departs from beside my ear, and I understand that the wriggling thing is an insect. Ah! Shaking chills run up my spine as if someone has pressed ice to it. I take a step back and drop my cell phone. The phone reacts with a backlight and an LCD screen comes on, illuminating the dead body. Ah! The syrupy dead body absorbs the light and the winged insect that flees to avoid it. There's also a meandering white nematode that seems not to notice. The backlight soon disappears, leaving its stench amidst of the darkness. The shadow of those hideous insects is scorched into my retinas, and they sway like the light off a heat haze in the darkness. Something was creeping up from the pit of my stomach. Let's wait it out. I immediately shut my mouth, enduring what has come up. The intermingling acidic taste of the vomit that had come up in the center of stomach acid lingering in my nostrils mixed with saliva and caused my eyes to water in pain. I really love this soundtrack. I don't know how they came up with this idea. Why was it so painful? I can't figure out the answer to my doubts, not at all. I cover my eyes with both hands. I couldn't have made it if I didn't. But shutting out my vision leaves my sense of smell, causing the smell of rotten water and the stench of the dead body to become more intense, so I uncover my eyes. No, what is this? This is a place where the customers are really all right for this to be here. On top of that, I was in the middle of chasing Mary, wasn't I? No, this isn't the problem. It's strange enough that there's a place like this in the middle of the aquarium. Anyway, I've got to get out of here. Stench is so overpowering as if I can't see it. I want to get out of here quickly, satisfying myself with the argument that it's a garbage dump or something, that it is the only way to get away. That if I only get away, it'll be fine. I'm getting ready to get jump scared. At any rate, I can go back the way I came. No, that's no good. I might run into Jimeno. At this moment, I don't want to see her face. My eyes having adjusted a bit to the darkness, I search for a way out. Here the tanks are broken, the little remaining water stinking in the bodies, the living things have tumbled out here and there. I think about how happy I am that I can't see. Even so, to find the exit, I'll have to look around. My nose has begun to go numb, and thanks to that, I'm somehow able to retain my sanity. For long, I find a dim emergency light behind one of the tanks and head towards it as if it were the last hope I could cling to. I feel squishing several times beneath my feet, but I try to ignore it and move on. As I move towards the emergency light, it seems the smell is becoming faint. I get used to the scattered shards of glass and the rotten fish corpses just before I reach the door. The tip of my shoe feels as if it has kicked something hard, something different from before. Wondering what I had kicked, I casually looked down. No, I kicked Mary and she's dead! I get the sensation that all the blood has stopped flowing through me and that my heart has stopped completely. Oh goodness. The round thing I kicked has patches of hair, 2 eyes, and a nose with a bone to it, and a mouth. Altogether it is Mary. Dead. Lying here for 5 years. The round thing I kicked has patches of hair too. Oh yeah. Altogether to the human face. Oh my goodness. Bruh, what is this? Speaking accurately, it's a head rather than a face. It's completely lifeless and rolls away with a flopping sound when my foot touches it. Seeing the state the head is in, I begin to feel ill again, despite having finally calmed down from before. Of the white cranium, only the forehead area seems to be exposed. It seems that this is new and has only just begun to decay. No, for starters, there's no way a human head should be rolling around here. It's my imagination. It has to be from some model. I haven't yet looked in the direction it was rolling, convincing myself that it wasn't a human head. It really is different. So there was no satisfying myself. I place my hands on the door in an attempt to escape. Unable to control my shaking hands, it takes 3 tries before I can open the door. It's a heavy fire door that is usually open. Yo, you see that sick animation, dude? Boogoo boogoo. Oh. This is... I step inside with my thoughts racing and the atmosphere changes completely once more. I can hear the sound of the door close behind me. Inside is a very clean place. Transparent water is tinted a faint blue and inside float fantasy-like jellyfish. Countless pillar-shaped tanks are spread around and the water shimmers as it reflects the light of the fluorescent lamp. Red and yellow, green and purple, the jellyfish's bodies diffusing light like a prism. In spite of the strange space I've reached, I'm fascinated by the shimmering live art display. I mutter without thinking. Then I quickly shake my head, erasing the image of him in my face. That will never happen. We can never be together. That appears in my mind. Earlier, she didn't come after me. After all, Jimeno chose on her own part ways with me. I'm sure it's because she dislikes me now. It isn't something I should worry about. Yeah, she doesn't like me. I can't be with her anymore. Even at a quick glance, I can see that there are various types of jellyfish in the tank. Having made efficient use of the small space, it's a charming area. It vividly expresses the starry skies as fitting a name of Manticram. Compared to the earlier Fish of the World booth, this isn't the one least bit in decay. I wonder if Mary came this way. Or just save in a different spot. That's good stuff, you know? Yeah, I'm just going forward. Going back is dangerous. I can't do anything by stopping here. I have to press on. So I start towards the starry sky. I gaze in fascination to the right and left of me. If circumstances were what they are, I would have stopped and stared into each and every tank. The tanks lined up all together are beautiful enough, but each one is vividly like the night sky inlaid with jewels. Altogether, there are 7 tanks. Each one holds a different type of jellyfish. Some with poison, some without, categorized by aspects such as where they live. Oh gosh, I scared myself. They really are beautiful. I stop and stand in the very center between the 3rd and 4th tanks. I wonder if the last time we came, these tanks were here. Nakonobi Mari, my little sister. Right in the tank, dead. Oh, I lean my back against one of the tanks and sit down. Whenever Mari's face appears in my mind, I lose all my strength. If anyone saw me, I'd be embarrassed, but here now in Manticram, there's no one around. Look up the ceiling. For some reason, a large fan is revolving here. My memories the last time we visited Manticram aren't all bad. It was the first time in a long time all 4 of us had gone out as a family. Mary and I got along really well, and we always held hands as we walked. We would do things like play house or read picture books aloud. Mary was a bit more of a tomboy than I, so even though I was the oldest sister, she was the one who gave the orders. Since it was the first time the 2 of us sisters went to the aquarium, it was natural for us to be very excited. Just as one would expect, the first time Mary and I laid eyes on the creatures of the sea, we experienced fear, awe, and the sense of being deeply moved. The creatures we saw at that time have stayed with me as vivid memories. Happy memories, I still have plenty of them. But on such a special day of all days, Mary and I ended up fighting. The rest proceeded just as I remember. Since then, my parents buy me anything I want. However, I changed as well, and I didn't really want anything anymore. Greed itself seemed to decline for me, and I never really got excited for anything. That's why when my mother bought me those boot sandals, I was happy. I was fascinated by their nostalgic ultramarine color. But 1 year after Mary disappeared, she stopped coming up in conversation. I don't know if my mother and father accepted it as a tragic accident. 1 year, bruh. When I lose pets, that's done in a week. Talk about them more, then you're just gonna get sad. The sadness slowly faded, but my new normal had begun. I had become an only child. That is nothing more than an excuse I can't escape from. Mari, you're here, right? Finally, it seems my strength has returned, and I stand up even though I ask. No one answers will come. The thundering ventilation fan in the ceiling is the only sound I can hear. It was almost as the same as I stood up. Akia! A crack opens in the glass of the tank behind me. Since the glass doesn't make any noise when it splits, I realize it's broken when water splashes on my rear end. My booty! Water continues to flow out, gradually spreading to my feet. The amount of water from the tank is more than just puddles after a heavy downpour. Along with the water flowing forth, the jellyfish that has been in the tank until moments ago have flowed out and poisoned me. In order to avoid contact with the water already soaking my sandals, I step back from the puddles without looking away. Why? As if to play further. My little sisters are right behind them, playing dollhouse with me. No. With my already bewildered mind, the tank behind me also cracked. All of them? Oh my goodness. Each time I hear the high-pitched noise of glass crackling. Following that, the tanks are each destroyed in turn. Can you show me a mess? Oh. Being struck in the middle of the passage. Water is closing in on me from all sides, leaving me pressed in between. The edge of the water is steadily drawing near. What should I do? The words that slide from my mouth also flow away with the water. The color of the tanks that had once been so vibrant now seems so eerily to me. You're gonna get poisoned. See you later. Nice knowing you. Among these jellyfish are poisonous ones. Even worse, some of them are fatal. Thinking that, my legs begin to shake in fear. No matter how frightened I become, I know I can't sit down. As if there I am in shrinking water and jellyfish are both heading towards me. Impossible for me to touch the floor. Nope. Run. I have no choice but to run straight through. I no longer have time for a doubt. I glance. The door on the opposite side is closed. Closer than the one I came through. From here, the distance isn't too far to the interior door. Running at top speed, I should be good enough to reach that one. I'm not even cracked in this picture. I hesitate for a moment, then grit my teeth and take off running. It's no more than 10 meters. It's a distance that should pose no trouble. Even someone who, like me, is tested below average in physical endurance. But then the jellyfish shocked the water. Kia! When I had run about 5 meters just passing the 6th tank, I fell full force onto my back. The floor is wet, so one might say this should have been expected. No, this is disgusting. The water soaks through my skirt and quickly soaks my underwear. The tank water is in direct contact with the skin of my rear. It is cold and wet, uncomfortable, but unavoidable. When I put my hand on the floor to try to stand up, discover that action is a mistake. Ouch. I squeeze my eyes shut in the pain that feels like I've been stabbed by a cold metal needle. No, it doesn't feel just like it. I have been stabbed by something. Have I been stung back? Shaken, I shift my line of sight to my hands. The jellyfish is covering my right hand. At that moment, I get upset that I can't feel the coldness of water on my right hand. I got stung. What do I do? Someone... Pamphlet introduced the jellyfish has gotten mixed up with a piece of glass from the tank. Man of war. I noticed the name without much of reaction, but it has to be poisonous to be called that. There have also been incidents of fatalities. Poison. What do I do if I've been stung? Do I clean it? Is it bad if I don't clean it? I can feel my pulse quickening. I wonder if it's the poison making its way through me. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? When I try to will myself to calm down, my impatience ramps up. Someone, Maddie, help me. Mary walks in and saves my life. I die. Game over. Ooga booga. Trying to use my pulsating right hand for support to push myself up. I slide in the puddle and can't stand. It hurts. It really hurts. I put water on the area where I had been stung in an attempt to rinse it out. However, the opening of the wound stings and startles me, and I need fresh water. Trying to apply pressure to my vein, I tightly grip the area where I had been stung. Dad, Mum, Himeno, Himari. Wanting to be saved, I call it as loudly as I can. However, in reality, my voice has already grown hoarse. Just like me reading all this. The corners of my eyes grow hot, and from them fall individual droplets. No, I'm going to die. My voice is no longer really a voice at all. For long, for long, an electric shock runs through my right hand. The subsiding of the intense pain brings my senses back to me. But my voice will no longer come out. Even when I try to think of something, nothing happens except a sensation of pain whirling inside me that fills me to the brim. Unable to control my body, I fall to the ground. First my head, then my chest, from my stomach to my feet. Having fallen on my face, half of my body submerged in water. Is this like how long it takes to die? Gosh. My heartbeat quickens. I become acutely aware of the flow of my blood. Nah. Not able to stand it, I vomit. The very idea of being able to endure it no longer occurs to me. Even so, the poison won't be expelled from my body. My entire being becoming numb is proof that my blood has been pumping so quickly it has worn down my veins. Man, I ran 5 meters. Wanting to rinse out the remaining vomit in my mouth, I suck in water. It tastes like salt. Within my body, it's struggling with all I have. On the outside, my shell has long exceeded the limits of its stamina. Blood is soaking through the capillaries of my eyeballs, and the puddles of sweating on the floor are pierced with red. Gradually, I stop feeling my blood flow. Is it because my heart has stopped, or because my consciousness has disappeared? Either way, my consciousness stops and fades into the darkness. With the same simplicity that a ventilated fan spews out old air, my breath is evacuated from my body. Wait, I'm not dead? Are you joking? When I come to it, I'm still gazing into the cylindrical tank. Vacantly, there's thinking nothing other than, I wonder if something's in there. I just stare into that tank. I have neither the urge to call out nor the desire to walk away. Merely the sensation that my consciousness alone is floating along the rippling sea. Why on earth am I here anyway? What have I come here to do? Whether I can't remember, or there was just no reason from the beginning. The jellyfish are pretty, especially this jellyfish. Its color is so bright. The voice that starts talking in front of me catches my attention for some reason. I feel like I've heard it before somewhere. Well, who is it? I'm unable to remember clearly, seeing only a wavering face that won't come into focus. I mean, that's easy. Anyway, Mayu, where did she go? Mayu? The girl, she talked to me like she was looking for someone. Poor thing, if she's lost someone here, she probably won't find them. Oh my gosh. Wait a second. Where is this to begin with? Swaying, swaying, softly, softly. Taking a poop in the toilet. Drip, drip. Sounds of drip, drop. Sounds of drops resonating around around me. Gradually ceasing to care, my consciousness melts into the water. My form. Is that an ending? What? Oh. Okay. What was with that, like, dramatic ending? I don't get it. So I have to, like, turn around? Oh, let's try this. No. No, what if I keep going? I want to see what happens if I keep going and think. No, I can't think of anything. I'm becoming panicked. If I don't calm down with my thoughts swirling around so frantically, I'm going to get even more confused. It's a vicious cycle. My sandals are getting dirty. This isn't the first thing that occurs to me, but regardless, it's my only clear thought. Puddles of water gradually drawing close, and I can't feel anything from the strange feel of jellyfish. I feel my heartbeat speed up as my chest starts to hurt from nervousness. At this point, I have to run through without worrying about my sandals, though they are sandals, the soles are strong. As long as the jellyfish don't jump, I probably won't get stung. Little by little, the safe spots are disappearing. I tightly pull my legs together, which make me stagger. Kia! I let out a small scream and straighten up a bit without nothing behind me to lean against. I'm just about covered, or I didn't read that. I wonder if I'll die of a jellyfish poison, rocked by waves of blended nervousness and fear. Okay, yeah, let me look. I'm just about cornered. Oh, I got an achievement for doing that. Something I want to confirm. I wonder if I'll die of jellyfish poison, rocked by waves of blended nervousness and fear. I carelessly entertain that line of thinking. The meter gauging my fear must be in full tilt. I think with cool deprecation. You from earlier. Huh? A sudden yell confuses me. Upon looking in the direction of the voice, I see that the door has been thrown open and a man is standing there. Shoot! Why are your feet exposed? Oh, it can't be helped. That is definitely Hiyoshi-san. The man we had called names is now gently removing his shoes and tossing them over to me. My mind races as I catch them. They are thick-soled boots. Put those on and make your way over here. All the jellyfish floating there have deadly poison. Be careful. Take out my sandals and put my feet off into his boots just as he tells me. The size doesn't fit at all and they're way too big, but not so big so I can't walk in them. I cautiously take a step and confirming it's alright, I take my second and third steps towards them with my sandals in one hand. Thank you very much. You can thank me later. For now, don't look around, just come up toward me. I know my breathing is increasingly rough and I get a little embarrassed. However, knowing some concessions will have to be made, I walk through the water and over the jellyfish. When I step on a jellyfish, I feel a squishing sensation through the shoes and shudder. There are shards of glass in the puddles, and that makes me want to thank Hiyoshi-san for being considerate enough to lend me such strong shoes. I can walk that remaining meter. Hiyoshi-san seems fairly close. I fall and die. No. Adjusting my breathing, I carefully take the remaining 3 steps. Ah! There is no mistake in my colors since I overlooked a transparent jellyfish on my feet. Even though I can't see it as clearly, I feel it, and the baggy boots I am wearing throw off my balance. At this rate, I will end up on my butt. If I fall now, all of the help I receive will be for nothing. Watch out! He grabs my arm and no. However, my body is supported by some strength that pulls me back. I knew it. Hiyoshi-san's right hand has grabbed onto my left wrist. It was a close one. Just like that, I've been pulled out of the room with the broken tanks. As soon as I was out of danger, Hiyoshi gave a mighty pull and shut the fire door. You're not supposed to be in there, you know. This is in front of the souvenir stand. More importantly, why are you here? Hiyoshi-san steadies me against the wall in front of the souvenir stand. His hair from a moment ago has hasn't escaped through the heavy dark gray emergency door. Isn't this a mountain aquarium? Besides, before I met up with you, Hiyoshi-san, there's so much. Hiyoshi-san just stares at me in my flustered state. Alright, calm down, Maya-chan. A wry grin appears on Hiroshi-san's face, and emotions in front of the souvenir stand before the sitting down. Today, I have nothing but bad memories in relation to the floor, so I'm merely leaning against the wall. The gacha machines are still there, but the whole lineup is new, and I don't know a single one of the products. What? Well then, have you calmed down a bit? Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yoshi-san. Yeah, I'm glad. You can call me by my first name. I don't really care about who's older or who's younger. Which one's your first? What is it you know about this aquarium, Hiyoshi-san? Jeez, I told you call me by my given name. Alright, grin appears again, but there's nothing I can do. I have some hesitation about actually calling an older guy by his given name, and I've only heard his first name once, so I don't really remember it. After that, Hiyoshi-san makes a serious face. I think of him as a light-hearted person, but as his mouth straightens, his face seems very focused. Well, it's fine. At any rate, there's only one thing I know. This is Mountain Aquarium, but it's not Mountain Aquarium. It's not Mountain Aquarium? Something like that. I don't know the principle or the cause behind it, but this Mountain Aquarium is on a distinct time axis from one you and I visited earlier. Maya-chan, that's what I think. I can't think of it as anything else. Different time? Whether past or present, you could even call it a parallel world, Hiyoshi-san adds. I can't understand what he is saying, not in the least. How do you know this, Hiyoshi-san? That is... Hiyoshi-san mumbles and starts. He looks my way and smiles bitterly. Maya-chan, didn't you meet any friends or acquaintances from long ago? Huh? On the contrary, you didn't see any staff or other customers, did you? His words seemed very enlightened. I couldn't think of a single thing. After all, I just come from my experience firsthand. However, there was something that was bothering me. As Hiyoshi-san had said long ago, Mary hadn't changed since that day, but then why? I don't get it. That bit about long ago. Therefore, I rejected him. Doing so, I could affirm the fact that I had reunited with Mary. Is that so? It seems I've said something a bit strange then. As he looks away and says this, I have no response from him, saying like that for a moment. Hiyoshi-san says, by the way, continues speaking, I think what caused the glass in the jellyfish tank's rupture was an expansion of gas from something within the tank. So the gas expanded and ruptured the tank from within? We were thinking about the cause, right? Since there's no staff in a space-time distortion, then it's strange for the oxygen modulator to break down. Then it wasn't the worker ghost? My murmuring, he had no answer. Even if we had to force ourselves, we should think positively, right? For us to have come here and there to be ghosts, it's not something I can take. Can we get back to our original time axis or something like it? We can get back, definitely. Hiyoshi-san asserts decisively, without looking me in the eye. Once again, he starts the next topic with a quick, by the way, that girl was with you. You want to see into the occult and stuff? What happened to her? You mean Himeno? Yeah, Himeno-chan, weren't you together? I inflate my cheeks, my butt cheeks, without thinking about it. When he notices, I become embarrassed and look down. I rest my hand on my knees, moving them up and down and say, I don't know. You're a pretty easy read, Maya-chan. Got into an argument, did you? It has nothing to do with you, Hiyoshi-san. Still, you do get that here. You get that there is something foul about this aquarium, right? Maya-chan, you experience that yourself. At his words, a pang of pain surges through my chest. Ugh! That room with the rotten corpses, that sudden crackling of the tanks at the jellyfish booth. When I think that the same accident could actually happen to Himeno, I instantly leap up. Speaking honestly, I have no desire to see Himeno's face, but knowing that the whole aquarium is dangerous, I can't calm down. What ifs? Imagining possibilities alone makes me want to cry. Wait a second, Maya-chan, you must be tired from all that happened. Moving quicker than I do, Hiyoshi-san's hand holds me back. I'll go look for Himeno-chan. For you. I'm more knowledgeable about this place. You wait here. As he says this, Hiyoshi-san gives a thumbs up, goes back in, and dies. It's a mystery to me. We had only just met today and had an inconsequential conversation. So I wonder why he had come to rescue me. He wasn't even showing concern for Himeno. He was supposedly a total stranger, so why? Dad? 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 Without hearing my response, he starts walking away from the jellyfish booth. His face and profile made me very reassured. Please, Hiyoshi-san. Adjusting his masculine appearance, I bowed deeply. In reality, it was as Hiyoshi-san had said. I had very little stamina to begin with, and now fatigue was building up inside me. Deciding to stay standing up was as good as these heavy legs of mine were proof of. As for things with Himeno, it would be best to talk them through it later. If we talked them over in this tense state, we would probably just get into another argument. Hiyoshi-san might even serve as a mediator. As expected in this gloomy building, he didn't have to walk far before he disappeared. The sound of his gradually fading footsteps had also disappeared. The only thing I could hear nearby was my own breathing. That's why that high roar and scream pierced right through my eardrums. Yeah! Oh, can't. No. It was a scream that seemed to have echoed through every corridor. No, in and out of the whole building. It wasn't just someone shouting, but someone crying as if splitting apart their throat. The sense of impending danger that voice bore my own throat to begin to tighten. That scream. That voice wasn't merely familiar. It was the voice of Hiyoshi-san, who had been right in front of me just 1 minute earlier. After that single loud scream, I could no longer hear his voice. Hiyoshi-san! I quickly stand up, running up to the source of the scream. The place connects the tube tunnel booth and the souvenir shop. That's where I heard the voice coming from. I run towards the tunnel tank. Oh, Mayu-chan, I told you to wait here for me. More importantly, that scream a minute ago. Did something happen? Hiyoshi-san is sitting at the entrance of the tunnel tank, not far from the aquarium entrance. At my question, he gives the wishy-washy reply, "You were worried about me. I'm so happy." Nah, it's a somewhat embarrassing story, but it looks like there was a person floating inside that tank under the circumstances. It just surprised me. Person in the tank? Speaking of which, Himeno mentioned or something like that. But I'm glad. I thought you'd gotten caught up in some terrible situation like I had earlier. I was relieved from the bottom of my heart. Following that relief, I became aware of my own fear of being isolated again. Chuckling, Hiyoshi-san scratches his head. Mayu-chan. I never got to hear the last of what he was going to say. Huh? It all took place in a matter of seconds, leaving me unable to make sense of what had happened. However, I gradually realized what was unfolding before my eyes. From Hiyoshi-san's neck up, I could see through to the tank. I didn't understand what I was seeing. In other words, his head was no longer where it should have been. Having lost pieces of himself so valuable to the human body, he collapsed slowly on the spot. From there, he never moved again. Soaking up the blue lighting, his reddish-black blood spread across the floor. What the? No! This time it was my turn to split my vocal cords. What? How had he gotten like this? What could have happened that left him in this state? Yoshi's hand tumbles along the ground and catches my eye. His eyes are wide and his pupils dilated. The grin I had seen hours earlier still spread across his face. There were marks beneath his neck, as if his head had been bitten clean off. Hiyoshi-san, wait, you don't see what did it? I intended to run and leave the dead Hiyoshi-san. Whatever left those bite marks was still nearby. I couldn't do it. What? What? I died too? It hurts. The area below my knees had become pitch black. My boots, there's no pain, only a visualization of pain running through my mind. In spite of losing my legs, I can't actually feel the pain. Of course not. That body of mine has lost its legs. I'm watching it from a separate place. The subjective point of view would have been impossible while I was alive. My head was already just like Hiyoshi's hand, rolling along the floor. Cold temperature of my boot. Blood. That was the last thing I felt. Right before I lost consciousness. Oh, you didn't see what did it? I saw its unbelievable true form. It's amazing because of my fading vision. With many fangs and a giant body, it was a fish. Show me a picture of it, please. I want to know. Decapitation 1. Bruh. Am I gonna like get all the bad endings? Oh, jeez. Oh no. Are you? What's that achievement? Try standing still from time to time. Why is there this many endings? There's 4 true ends? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's enough for now, dudes.